There's a user on TikTok right now gaining a lot of fame and a lot of notoriety for what he says, for his opinion, for his take. This said YouTuber, TikToker, content creator is named Poppy Capone. At least that's his TikTok handle. And his most recent post includes that of, and this is a direct quote, the more women that play video games are ruining video games, right? And to that, I kind of want to break it down, right? To give you some backstory, he was playing a game known as Marvel Rivals, right? Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 hero shooter using Marvel superheroes such as Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, Wanda, Black Panther, Captain America, Cloak and Dagger, Rocky Raccoon, Groot, an assortment and a variety of heroes. To his point, he was playing in a high-level ranked comp game, and he lost. He lost the game, and he believes the reason he lost said game is strictly due to having a female on his team. Well, I did some homework so that you don't have to. I watched the game in question. As you know, and if you don't know, in Marvel Rivals, you can look up a username's tag or a person's tag and watch a video, watch their match replays. And I found the match replay in question. He is complaining because he lost. And like I said, he thinks he lost because there was a female on his team. Not only is that the most Neanderthalic thing that you could possibly ever spew out of your mouth, it is just straight wrong. Right? If you watch his gameplay and you watch the decisions he makes and the decisions him and his team make, and I believe he was playing with people, but I'm not sure if he was. So he was playing tank, right? His character was Magneto. Within the first couple seconds, he gets spider-webbed off the map, switches to Black Widow, and for the next 3.5 minutes or something crazy like that, he sits in spawn as Black Widow. Black Widow is probably one of the most useless characters in the game, and the fact that he was just camping spawn probably tells me that he was becoming a keyboard warrior. Right? The guy who just won't shut up. The guy who's just like, oh, you're ruining the game. And this time, he was directing it at a female. He was yelling at the solo healer because she wasn't healing enough. And instead of saying, hey, maybe we switch team comp up, maybe we, since they're playing dive, we switch to poke. Since they're playing poke, maybe we switch to dive. I don't know. Instead of actually formulating a game plan and moving on with a better situation, a better mindset, a PMA, a positive mental attitude, he decides to target, of course, the female on his team. And then he takes to TikTok afterwards saying, the more women that play video games, the faster it gets ruined. Something along those lines. And that is an absurd take for me, right? I started playing video games before I can honestly even remember anything else. I probably had a PS1 controller in my hand at 4 or 5 years old. I got a PS2 around 6 or 7. I got my first PS3 early teens. I got a PS4 when I was about 15, 16. And now I have a PS5 and a PC. When I get home, I pick this controller up and I game. And it carries me away to a different universe. And for this guy to get online and clip farm or actually express his honest belief that women shouldn't play video games astonishes me. It not only makes me angry that somebody could be this thick-skulled in the great year of 2025, right? If you know anything about me, you know that I am into video games heavily. And to deny that joy from anyone, I believe, should be a hate crime. Should be a war crime. Should be punishable by firing squad. It's like saying, hey, this hobby that you have, this hobby that you oh so very much enjoy, just like me, you can't do it because something's different about you. And to have that mentality and to not be joking, to truly believe that at the core of your soul, there has to be something wrong with you. There has to be something that just doesn't connect somewhere, right? That is the most clownish take that I've ever quite honestly heard in my 25 years of life. And I've heard some pretty crazy things. I lived through the 2016s for Pete's sake, and I'm living through an era now where 6'7" is the funniest joke known to man, and quite honestly, I don't even get it. Call me uncle all you want to, I genuinely don't understand the majority of terms used today. And to hear him say that pisses me off to the point where I ditched tonight's video just to simply talk about this man. So, moving forward, what could he have done better? One, keep his little pie hole closed. If you're not, my mom always told me, if you're not going to say anything nice, or you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So that's the first step. His second step is to stop being such a bitch. Right? Like, at what point can you attribute somebody's gender to the way they play video games? Right? There are people, females, in my favorite game, Rainbow Six Siege, that would wipe the floor with me. That would simply, just because they are better than me, has nothing to do with gender, they would wipe the floor with me. Now, granted, can I get better? Can I possibly beat them? Sure. But as it stands right now, their gender has nothing to do with the fact that they are just simply better at the game. And I'm starting to run into mental blocks because every time I think about what this guy said, what he had the audacity to post on TikTok, it kind of brings me to the fact that, like, not everybody should have access to social media. In a way, they should treat social media like they treat guns. You have to have a background check and felons can't be on there. Like, to have free speech is one thing. To be able to post whatever the hell you want on TikTok is a completely another thing. Because this guy, I think we should take video games away from him. Imagine if he couldn't play any video games anymore. Imagine if the roles were completely swapped and a girl was saying this about him. The more men that play video games, the worse they get. We'd lose our minds. We'd go apeshit. We'd burn a town down. We'd flip cars and steal from Target. We'd go crazy at the fact that she said men can't play video games. So what gives him the right to say females can't play video games? I guess I'm so passionate about this because to me, video games are relaxing. Yes, I sit here and scream and yell and shout and get as loud as humanly possible. But at the end of the day, that is releasing like a primal anger in me. You know, that is allowing me to release the tension out of my shoulders and kind of just calm down a little bit. And for him to say that someone can't do a hobby because of their gender is crazy to me, right? I thoroughly believe anyone and everyone can play video games. Video games are something that should bring us together. And this guy is clearly just trying to drive a nail into whatever we have built. He's trying to break it. And that's just not cool. So, if you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments. What do you feel about this topic? Was he completely in the wrong, or am I just yapping to yap? Because, like I mentioned, and like I've said for the last 10 minutes, he's wrong. In my personal opinion, anyone and everyone can play video games. Now, This has been the Kevin Show. Deuces. I'll see you in the next one.